Today in the crypto space, we see the market hesitating. Bitcoin right around $63,700, give or take, down approximately 1%. Ethereum down 1.5%. Definitely looking like it wants to hesitate here. However, guys, we could be consolidating before we get a continuation. The rest of the crypto space, these altcoins, also waiting for Bitcoin and Ethereum to make some critical decision. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to focus on BLOCX. Guys, they've been cooking in the background, preparing for the continuation to the upside, giving us lots and lots of fundamentally bullish updates. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, the market right now, you can see looking a little bit hesitant. However, the question is, should we be deploying capital? And of course, we're looking for fundamentally bullish projects that have been cooking in the background, preparing for a continuation to the upside. And today's video is sponsored by the BLOCX community. Guys, they have a lot of things to be looking forward to. You know, I usually do deep dives research. I look at different projects, look at their fundamentals. And of course, I did do a deep dive on BLOCX about a year ago. And BLOCX has been definitely upgrading and doing what they had to do to get everybody fundamentally bullish. And what I mean by everybody is the retail market. And for me, that's a very important thing, because as we get new capital entering the space, we want to make sure that we expose them to the best assets possible. And I believe that BLOCX at this current moment is trying to be that, exactly, to be one of the best assets out there, given the fact that they're focusing on their weaknesses and improving on a daily basis. So for me, this is very important. And guys, they already made a great announcement in the last little while, suggesting that they are going to be moving on to a new algorithm. And this suggestion is a very bullish one. And we'll talk about that in a second. And we'll definitely scrape through the top 100 here, and then we'll jump right into some charts and some analysis here. Bitcoin, as Bitcoin is going sideways, you can see that the price is, basically making a bit of a floor price. As it makes a floor price, we can start getting a bit confident with the fact that maybe we're going sideways. We can put a stop loss underneath the consolidation. Invalidation is very clear. It could be a Bart Simpson pattern to the downside, being prepared to buy those dips. We do see Ethereum showing a little bit of weakness. We see BNB showing a bit of weakness, and many other projects slowly rolling over with a bit of a possibility of a dip. But guys, you know how the markets work, right? We got a great night. We got a great rally earlier on this week during the weekend. Some projects right now are up in double digits, 30% for AVAX, and many others, like even Chainlink is up 21%, 23% for Near Protocol, and so on and so forth. So we do have to understand that there's peaks and valleys, ebbs and flows that basically, depict the market. We rise up, we come down, buy the dip, we rise up again. And these are opportunities. Every time we do come down, obviously, you got to test your convictions. Is your conviction that we are in a bull run, or that we are going to start another leg to the upside with an altcoin season? If that's your conviction, now is the time to take a bit of risk. Now is the time to take some calculated risk. And of course, we're looking for projects that have great fundamentals and a great price action, because both of them in confluence gives us tons of confidence that we are getting into a great position, right? We do see a lot of projects still holding strong, like FET and Aptos. They're still good, not making any lower lows. Even Caspa, for that matter. Yeah, it's been a bit quiet in the last little bit, but it's still holding up, holding its structure, holding its position, doing pretty good. Stacks as well, BitTensor, and many others. Look at all these fractals, guys. The market is doing really good. So back to that initial question, guys, where should we be allocating our capital. And for me, obviously, you guys know this video is sponsored by the BLOCX community. So make sure you do your own research and, do that deep dive. And if you're looking for a deep dive on BLOCX that I've produced, go check it out. It is definitely there in the deep dives playlist. But I feel like we need an update with BLOCX. So BLOCX, just to give you an idea, is a safety layer of a DePIN. This is what their whole value proposition is. And in my book, the way I see it is, even that statement is, basically summarizing it too cleanly, in the sense that there's a lot happening here with the BLOCX. And since I've done the deep dive, they have produced and executed everything that they had on their roadmap, pretty much in the works or already released, which for me is very, very bullish. They're putting their money where their mouth is. It's a comprehensive, all-in-one computer manager designed to meet your diverse needs while prioritizing security and efficiency. Good stuff here. Obviously, just a quick little intro. If you want to know more about BLOCX, feel free to, obviously check out the website. They have a great white paper. If you join their Discord and their communities, they'll be glad to answer any questions. But I'm going to be focusing today, on the upgrades, because the project is solid. And the project was even solid when I did the initial deep dive. But now, as they're developing and they're, cranking out some more updates, including the wallet, guys, let's get right into these updates quick so that we can look at the price action in a second. One of the most bullish things at this current moment, and obviously they just announced it today, the fact is that they're changing their algorithm. And for those of you that are new to crypto, or maybe have been around and just don't really understand the connection between the algorithms, essentially what they are referred to is how are these tokens or these coins going to be mined. And that's a very important thing, because it offers a scenario of which we can see decentralization or even centralization. So this is very important. So BLOCX transitions to a new era with Lixos 2 algorithm. Sorry guys for butchering that, but of course, a bit of an upgrade here is important, because you can see that they're saying goodbye to ASICs. Saying goodbye to ASICs means that we are decentralizing the opportunity to mine, which is important, because if you are only ASIC, if you only need an ASIC, the only way you could be mining is using an ASIC, what happens is that not everybody has access to this ASIC. So you can see that if you start reading through here, they present a good argument to the reason why they went from the X11 to the Autolixos 2 algorithm, which basically removes that barrier to entry. It removes the friction from the everyday individual to get involved and to start mining. And that's a very important thing, because GPUs are pretty much everywhere. We do have powerful gaming GPUs that are underutilized, that are hanging around, and instead of requiring an ASIC miner, which is very, very expensive and hard to come by for a lot of people, we can easily get involved using this new algorithm, because now we can start using the hardware that we already have. So GPUs effectively change democratizes the mining, allowing individuals like quote unquote Alex, as an example, to contribute to the network, earning rewards and support the ecosystem. So this is decentralization, more power for all, which is a very important thing when you're looking at a decentralized network. We want to be able to include everybody, to be an inclusive type of platform that, if you have a GPU that basically fits the bill, you can include it into your system and be able to get rewarded for offering GPU processing power to provide consensus as the algorithm, which is very important. So decentralization, you guys know how I totally embrace projects that focus on decentralization, and improves no more attacks, basically improves resistance to ASICs, preventing centralization, and enhanced network security. These are all good things that we could expect going forward, because I do notice that other blockchains are going from GPU to ASICs based on the need of power, but based on this new algorithm, they are able to keep efficiency while reducing the requirement of an ASICs. Guys, this is, for me, is a very important thing going forward for decentralization, and I appreciate it significantly. So guys, feel free to join the Discord if you have any questions. Obviously, there's links in the description to their website. Follow them on X, because they have all these posts, all these updates readily available if you want to take a look. So feel free to go check that out. Another thing, there's a couple of things, guys. They've been cooking. Definitely, they've been cooking. Another thing that I'm interested in is to bring to you is the grid box, CPU and GPU renting made easy. So you're offering your resources to the network, and obviously you can get rewarded for that. This is a typical deep-in play that we've been seeing in the last little while, making individuals realize that the Web 2 transition from Web 2 and to Web 3 technologies is definitely in the works, and moving away from the reliance on centralized infrastructures such as AWS or VAST. And for me, this is super important. Because if we're going to totally embrace Web3 technology, we have to understand that it doesn't just include blockchain technology. It also includes the other aspects of decentralization. And DeepIn infrastructure offers that opportunity to decentralize our storage, our GPU power, and so on and so forth. So I'm glad to see that as a layer 1, as a infrastructure, they are definitely integrating this DeepIn architecture. So again, if you are interested in providing resources to the network, you have an opportunity to earn passive income, and at the end of the day, multi-operating system support, advanced machine learning templates that allow it to easily get involved. You don't have to be a computer science wizard to get this thing going. They make it very easy with a few clicks, just a click here and there, and you can add your machine and start earning based on the GPU that you have, and so on. And of course, they give you the different articles necessary to get to make it happen, and then the key features of the grid box and the whole platform. Guys, go check it out, guys. If you're looking for an up-and-coming small project that has a lot of upside potential and get involved in the network, BLOCX is where it's at. Let's continue going on. There's so much that I got to get through here, guys. They've been cooking, like I mentioned, a marketplace. All of a sudden, they have a marketplace basically led by two new individuals. Umar, lead engineer, and Hashmat, a full stack engineer. So this, you guys know how I appreciate this. You know, when I see engineers, I see individuals that are leading a space, a technological space, that have credentials, that have passion for what they do. For me, that's a very bullish thing. You know, you're in good hands. We're proud to have such an experienced team. Together with our blockchain team, is set to deliver the most user-friendly marketplace available. So, you know, this is a good thing, because, you know, they're going to be having the ability to grow their infrastructure, their ecosystem via marketplace. The incentive of offering, products or services on a marketplace obviously increases the utility of the token, because why do you need the token? To get involved in the marketplace, right? So that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see utility. And of course, if you want to know more about the two individuals here, check out the LinkedIn. You can get a lot of information with regards to the team. And one of my suggestions was, prior to this video, when I did my deep dive, was we need to get a docs team. We need to see where the talent is coming from, and I'm glad to see that they've integrated this into their vision to give us a bit of an insight about the talent that they have, not only within the blockchain, but into the other aspects that they have going on within the ecosystem, like this marketplace. Bullish. I appreciate it. Going on with that topic. Sorry, guys. Exciting news, guys. They basically have been hiring a bunch of individuals, a bunch of talent, lead design at BLOCX, exclusive blockchain design expertise, elevating the project to the next level. Guys, this is where it's at. Product design lead. We have Mickey going at it, improving what they got, and obviously new, exciting, fresh talent is super important. And going on forward, the head of marketing, brand management, we have Monique. She's going at it, offering a lot of marketing expertise, and that's super important. What good is it that you have a good project where you can't communicate, right? We need to be able to communicate. I've seen this happen before, where you have potentially a great project, but nobody knows about it, and nobody understands it, and nobody would know that it's good because your communication is lacking. And having an individual that can focus on communicating and marketing and branding the project appropriately, creating the hype and interest of the general market, specifically the retail retail market, I think is a viable thing, particularly in this season of the cycle. If we are going to get this altcoin season, we want to make sure that individuals know and know accurately what BLOCX is. And having an individual focus and spearheading this objective is super important. So marketing dollars are going to be put to the test at the current moment, in my opinion, because of where we are in the cycle. And if marketing dollars is where it's at, guys, at least we have somebody focusing on where to put those efforts. Let's move on. Core team. So this is not a new individual, but he finally, they finally decided to be doxxed, which is great. Head of blockchain at BLOCX. Okay, so Mihul, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, has been taking care of everything blockchain related. And I remember being very critical about the project earlier on, suggesting that, you know, although the founder was a great individual, had some blockchain, some programming experience, but nothing that got me really interested. And that was my major concern. Then all of a sudden now we are introduced to Mihul. This dude has been around in this space. You can check out his LinkedIn. He's fully doxed, and he has been leading the blockchain development here at BLOCX for a good while. It's just now that he's being presented, and here he is. Guys, bullish. Dox teams, we know, are very important, particularly with new small cap projects, because at the end of the day, we know that they pose risk. But when you start bringing factual information and foundational support, such as team members, guys, it gives us a bit of confidence, something to at least rely on, that we are in good hands and that the talent there is sufficient enough to lead us to higher levels. So I appreciate the fact that the whole team at this current moment is pretty much doxed. Either they're fresh, new individuals with fresh ideas, or individuals that have been spearheading this project from the beginning that are finally saying, hello, I'm here to stay, and I'm here to continue pushing this project to the upside. So I appreciate that. Let's keep on going. Let's talk about a bit about some tech. So we also have, you guys know, it's a one-stop shop type of project. There's a lot happening here. And they also have a project called B.TXT on mobile right now. It's available, which is their messaging app. They're a messenger. It's a messaging app that's decentralized, powered by masternodes. So guys, we know that, you know, the ability to speak right now is very important. We want to be able to freely communicate with one another on various topics, and a decentralized network that embraces privacy and so on is something that society in general is in need for or is looking for. So B.TXT, now a mobile, brings it straight into the palm of your hands and allows you to basically utilize the application where it matters most, which is on our mobile phones. Prior to this, it was only available on computers, whether it be Windows, Linux, or Apple products. But now it's available on mobile devices, which is a super bullish upgrade, because we know that most of our communication happens on the mobile device. And you can see that there's a screenshot, a bit of a video showing you how it works. Feel free to check out the website because they have a little bit more there. You can actually use it and go check it out. And there's it's just a really interesting concept, because this is where we are seeing the market shift. We're seeing that we are realizing that we need a messaging app that is decentralized and completely not private type of thing. So go feel free to check that out. I think it's super important that we move forward with this freedom of speech concept regardless. And another one, guys, it keeps on going. They're integrating an AI assistant. And we know that the AI narrative has been buzzing. The important thing is that there's a lot of AI projects out there that don't have much utility. And for me, that's a bit of, vaporware, in my opinion. However, when you start looking at projects that are integrating AI with an actual use case, things change very quickly, because AI does have utility. However, it needs to be put to play. It's not just a concept. AI assistant feature called Quick Scan. What is it? Quick Scan will enable you to scan Ethereum, Binance, Polygon, Arbitrum, Base, Avalanche, ZK Sync, and many more, 35 plus more blockchains. Basically being able to scan them and scan for safety of the contracts. Basically to see if the contract is safe for you to use and get involved with. Guys, this is what we kind of need. Obviously, there's going to be a cat and mouse game here in this industry, where there's the bad players and the good players, and literally we're going to have solutions to fight back from the bad actors in this space. And of course, if we have AI on our side, and we have features called quick scan on our side trying to help us navigate this market in safety. We can use this utility to enhance our ability to basically get exposure to our investments without so much risk. And risk is enemy number one, public enemy number one for a crypto investor, trader, and so on. So I'd like to see that AI here not only is an AI feature, but it's an AI project that is actually in full force and has utility. And for me, that's super important, not just to say, oh, we have AI and then there's nothing to show for it. You can actually use this and actually has some value for the everyday crypto individual. Remember, the next BLOCX desktop version will be the last one you will need to download. It will auto update going forward, which is important because you want to keep on downloading and uploading. It will upload automatically, and it's Linux and Windows, guys. This is where it's at. Go check it out. Quick contract scanner, very bullish, and it basically allows you to scan the contracts across multiple blockchains. Guys, let's continue. There's a lot more. Now there's a bridge. Now we know that there's a scenario where they're moving assets from one to the next. So this update enhances your experience by providing a smooth and efficient way to manage your BLOCX assets across different networks. Seamless bridging your BLOCX from mainnet to BLOCX ERC20. Okay, this is what they're trying to do here, and vice versa, going back and forth. So because they have their mainnet and their ERC20, you want to be able to bridge back and forth, so you don't feel like you're going to be basically left behind with these transitions. So they have a bridge ready to go, readily available to make you to basically transition from one blockchain to the next. So keep an eye on that one. That's a very necessary update there. Going forward, official partnerships, of course, a powerful digital environment. Stay tuned. They have a U2U network partnership, which again, it's a great partnership given the fact that it's a one-stop solution offering comprehensive range of features and services to simplify secure digital experience. Now, what does that really mean? Let's go take a look at their thing. They're a partner. Let's see what they offer. Low latency and high throughput subnet technology, perfect fit for DePIN. So they're offering the back end for a DePIN infrastructure, and they're EVM compatible. And the U2U network is a DAG, which is a hot topic in the last little while. So I think it's a really good partnership, given the fact that we can see that they're trying to decentralize and provide DePIN solutions to BLOCX, and having them as a partner is a very, very viable thing. And another partner that I'm glad to see is the Node Factory. Okay, so the Node Factory will be providing sharing master nodes on BLOCX network. Guys, we need those master nodes, and if you did that deep dive research, you know exactly what the master nodes are about. But this is a super bullish partnership, given the fact that this is a necessity in order to get involved in the network. So go check this out, guys. Great partnerships coming around, good updates to the team, and of course, guys, we try to get fundamentally bullish here on the channel, finding projects with great opportunity. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts as well, so let's begin. Let's take a look at the BLOCX chart for the next little while and see what's going on. Really, BLOCX, like many other projects, has been, coming down. We got to be clear here. We found a bit of a wedge to the downside. We dipped down a little bit below it. Now we're back into kind of a structure. We swept the lows type of thing. You can see that, maybe we got a bit of relief here. Maybe we get a confirmation low, a higher low. That would be really bullish. But ultimately, this whipsaw price action, this straight down, straight up type of thing, could be a good indication that we are looking for some horizontal support. But we need to be proven that we are getting horizontal support. I like this level right into here. And from a price action perspective, this looks really good. Looks really good. If we do get a bounce, right on this level, we can confirm a higher low, and this might not be considered a shoulder right into here, but we do see that ultimately this was an emotional level, right? This was an emotional level because, hypothetically speaking, we could have expected this thing to break out based on the bias of a descending wedge. So I'm assuming that some individual took a bit of risk right into here, assuming that we would get a bounce and maybe break out bullish, because again, statistically speaking, a descending wedge should break out bullish. And because of those emotions in this level, a back test here wouldn't be a bad idea. It would be a scenario where this would be considered a swing failure pattern or a stop loss hunt, basically. And if that were to be the case, give us that rounded bottom here, give us an opportunity to break this high, and then all of a sudden we start changing character, because as of now we've been making lower lows and lower highs, right? And all of a sudden we can say, you know what, we broke above, We made a high right here, a local high, and let's come down and make a higher low in comparison to this low. Let me get a pen out going. A higher low, which would be right around here. And then let's break this high and make a higher high and break above the 200 daily EMA. Now, all of a sudden, we start saying, you know what? We potentially made a change of character. Instead of making lower lows and lower highs, all of a sudden, we're making higher highs and higher lows. And then all of a sudden, we start changing the trend direction, the change of character. So this is what I'm really waiting for here, because as of now, all we're really doing is making lower lows and lower highs. I've got to be honest here, okay, guys? But we could be in a scenario where we're looking for that pivot point structure down here to suggest that we should be taking a little bit of risk. Now, if you look at the oscillators, we were oversold at one point. We took a bit of a run to the upside. We did not get overbought. We're back in the chop zone. Sorry, guys, we're back in the chop zone here. And you can see on the momentum oscillator that we're basically at the 0% mark going sideways. Not a good place to trade, but definitely a good place to come up with a setup for a directional move, whether it be back to the upside and actually get overbought, because you got to admit the bullish attempt didn't get overbought. So maybe we do get a bullish attempt and finally get overbought, or we come down and get oversold and get an opportunity to be buy the dip. And if it does happen, you know, we want to pay attention to the fact that it doesn't make a lower low. We want a higher low. We want it to hold up around this level and give us that nice rounded bottom to consider this potentially an Adam and Eve pattern with a nice rounded bottom. And then we can start breaking the previous high and breaking the neckline and start moving to higher levels. But in the meantime, we have to admit the fact that getting into a fresh long position at the current moment, you're running the risk that we get oversold. And not getting into a position right now, you're running the risk of missing out of a pop to the upside to see the price actually get overbought. So you can see that's a 50-50 shot right now. And based on 50-50, it's a bit of a gamble. We're not here to take chances of 50-50 coin toss. We're here to get an edge on the market. So what I would say is this is a good opportunity to start to DCA. And the reason why I say that is because you did not buy the top. Okay, let me just look at the trend oscillator here for a second and see what's going on. EMAs are facing down, red histogram bars. I feel like there's a bit of weakness still left here in the trend to the downside, so be very, very careful. But if you start zooming out and you start looking at where this price came from, you're not buying the top, you're not exit liquidity. Okay, so that's a good thing. You're at, you know, last lines in the sand of horizontal support to the extent that I feel like we already kind of hunted liquidity here and it may be looking for that higher low. There is no real structure to kind of go by and trust other than the volume diminishing significantly below this level. So really, you know, you're in validation. If we start breaking below the yellow line, you know, it starts to get really bad, right? The thick yellow line right here, it starts to get really bad. If we break below the previous low, it starts to get worse. But when do you start taking risk? That's the question here. Are we leading into the fall where we start to see the market wake up again? Do we start to see the altcoin season? Do we get confirmation lows at this level? Do we see Bitcoin, you know, basically break out of its consolidation and perhaps start moving to higher levels? What do we see here for this market? And I say this, don't take a risk FOMOing in or going too heavy on buy opportunities. What you should be doing is DCing nice and slowly and building your position as you build the confluence in the chart. If we, like I said, if we make around the bottom, start buying the dip right here. As soon as you start to see it roll to the upside, as soon as we break the previous high, buy a little bit more. If we get a dip and come down a little bit for a cup and handle, buy a little bit more. And just confirmation, maybe a backtest and buy a little bit more. Just keep on accumulating as it keeps on getting your confirmations. And you know, sooner than later, you'll realize that your bags will be packed. You'll be ready to go with enough exposure to see this thing get back to the base of the wedge, which is right around here. Just remember that the target of a descending wedge is the base of the wedge, which is at around 20 cents, which would be a great move to the upside, excluding all-time high in price discovery. And ultimately, this is where we're leading to, guys. We want to see projects like BLOCX, given their strong fundamentals and the upgrades that they've been cooking up with in the last little while, we want to see these prices get to higher levels, right? So that's that. All right, guys, let's do a quick little summary here quick. I'm going to have this infographic readily available to you guys on the social, so feel free if you want to go take a look and download it or whatever you got to do, go check it out. Obviously, give you a little bit of a description, a bit of a recap. Remember, the team now, head of blockchain, is now doxed. They got a new bunch of characters into the team, which is handling a lot of good fundamentals, the product lead design, design lead, head of marketing, and brand manager, and they're all fully doxed, talented with great potential. They have a new marketplace with a new team, obviously engineers and full stack developers and engineers. Great stuff, and they're currently in the testing phase, but definitely in the works to get that thing going. You have the grid box, democratizing access to computing power. If you want to get involved, if you want to earn passive income, if you have extra CPU and GPU power hanging around, get involved in their deep in infrastructure and get rewarded for these efforts. You know, they have rendering, machine learning, basically regular computer access and custom Docker, everything readily available to get involved for sure. And then of course you have the application itself that is super good. Obviously, if you want to get into a messenger application, it's definitely coming soon, but it is available on mobile devices coming around. So pay attention. We're looking for that decentralization of our decentralization of our ability to communicate, guys. This is a value proposition right now that is super necessary, and if you read between the lines, you know what I mean. And then the algorithm, basically saying goodbye to ASICs, guys. This is probably the most important one out of all of these squares. You know, saying goodbye to ASICs is a good thing, right? Allowing the everyday individual to get involved and use their GPU to start mining, and obviously getting rewards for those efforts, guys. You know, some algorithms just need an update. Sometimes, you know, going back to basics is the best thing to do, and we're seeing a lot of projects move on to ASICs, but then now we're seeing, you know what, but it's causing a lot of resistance for decentralization and allowing everybody to get involved. And in a true democracy, or a scenario where you want to, you know, expand your horizon and involve everybody, guys, getting into the GPU space is a lot better in my opinion. So not bad of a scenario. And the bridging capabilities, so seamlessly bridge your BLOCX from mainnet to the BLOCX ERC20 tokens and vice versa, guys. Very, very necessary here as we see the ecosystem grow and, you know, transition from mainnet to ERC20, you know, or vice versa. We want to be able to, you know, transfer our tokens back and forth. So we see a lot of projects being built on Ethereum first and then slowly transition to their own blockchain, and that's definitely a viable scenario. But offering the bridge is very, very necessary. And of course, the partnerships, we have U2U Network and the Node Factory, very, very good partnerships with strong value propositions. And last but not least, the AI assistant, not just a bunch of vaporware, you know, obviously providing great utility, being able to keep us safe by allowing us to scan contracts on multiple chains. And guys, we know that this is an important value proposition given the fact that there's a lot of scams out there. And we want to be able to stay protected. And at this current moment, we see BLOCX giving us a really good utility to keep us safe. All right, guys. If I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.